I walked through the shadowy corridors of the old college, the dim light casting eerie shapes on the ancient stone walls. The air was heavy with a sense of history, and a chill ran down my spine as I navigated the maze-like hallways. I had heard whispers of the college's dark past, stories of students who had mysteriously vanished without a trace. As I explored further, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. The portraits that lined the walls seemed to follow my every move, their eyes filled with an unsettling intensity. One night, as I studied alone in the library, I heard faint whispers echoing through the stacks. The hairs on the back of my neck stood on end as the voices grew louder, their words incomprehensible yet filled with a sense of urgency. I tried to shake off the feeling, telling myself it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. But then, a cold gust of wind swept through the room, extinguishing the candles that illuminated my desk. Panic surged through me as I fumbled for my phone, the only source of light in the pitch-black darkness. As the glow of the screen illuminated the room, I saw a figure standing at the far end of the library, a figure that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. My heart raced as I stumbled backward, my mind racing to make sense of what I was seeing. The figure moved closer, its features becoming clearer with each step. It was a young woman, her eyes hollow and vacant, her pale gown billowing in the phantom wind. I tried to scream, but my voice caught in my throat. The woman's lips moved, and though I couldn't hear her words, I could feel her anguish and desperation. She reached out a ghostly hand, and I felt a surge of cold energy wash over me as her fingertips brushed against my skin. In a moment of sheer terror, I bolted from the library and ran through the college's winding hallways, my footsteps echoing in the empty corridors. I burst out into the courtyard, gasping for breath as I looked back at the imposing building. The windows glowed with an otherworldly light, and I knew that I had encountered something beyond the realm of the living. As days turned into weeks, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Every corner I turned, every shadow I glimpsed out of the corner of my eye seemed to hold the presence of that tormented spirit. Sleep eluded me, and I became a shell of my former self, haunted by the memory of that night in the library. Desperate for answers, I delved into the college's history, poring over dusty archives and forgotten documents. What I uncovered sent a shiver down my spine. The woman I had encountered was Emily Sinclair, a brilliant student who had attended the college in the 1800s. She had been accused of practicing dark magic and was banished from the college, disappearing without a trace. Legend had it that Emily's spirit had never found peace, that she remained trapped within the college's walls, seeking vengeance against those who had wronged her. It was said that those who encountered her would be forever marked, their lives irrevocably changed by the encounter. I knew that if I wanted to escape the clutches of Emily's vengeful spirit, I would need to confront her and put her soul to rest. Armed with this newfound knowledge, I ventured back into the college, determined to unravel the mystery and break the curse that had plagued the campus for centuries. The air was thick with tension as I made my way to the library, the very place where I had first encountered Emily. The candles flickered ominously as I stepped inside, and I called out her name, my voice trembling. Suddenly the temperature dropped, and I could see my breath in the frigid air. And then she appeared. Emily Sinclair, her spectral form materializing before me. Her eyes bore into mine, and though she didn't speak, her thoughts filled my mind. She showed me glimpses of her life, her unjust expulsion from the college, and the torment she had endured in the years that followed. Tears welled up in my eyes as I felt her pain, her anger, her longing for justice. I reached out to her, my hand trembling, and I could sense her hesitation. Slowly, tentatively, she placed her ethereal hand in mine, and a surge of energy pulsed through me. In that moment, I knew what I had to do. I had to help Emily find the closure she so desperately needed. With every ounce of determination, I vowed to uncover the truth behind her unjust expulsion and clear her name. Days turned into weeks, and together, Emily and I sifted through centuries-old records and pieced together the events that had led to her downfall. It became clear that she had been falsely accused, a victim of the superstitious beliefs of the time. Armed with the truth, I confronted the college's board of trustees, presenting the evidence that would exonerate Emily's name. The atmosphere in the room was tense as they listened to my impassioned plea. And then, slowly, begrudgingly, they agreed to clear Emily's name and acknowledge the injustice that had been done to her. As the truth came to light, a sense of peace washed over Emily's spirit. The ethereal chains that had bound her to the college began to dissipate, and a warm light enveloped her. With a final, lingering glance, she smiled, her eyes filled with gratitude before she finally faded away, her spirit finally finding the rest it had longed for. The college, once haunted by Emily's vengeful presence, seemed to transform. The shadows that had once clung to its halls lifted, and a newfound sense of vitality returned to the campus. The stories of Emily Sinclair became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the consequences of prejudice and injustice. And as I walked away from the college, I couldn't help but feel a sense of fulfillment. I had confronted my fears, unraveled a centuries-old mystery, and helped a tormented spirit find the peace she had been denied for so long. The memory of that night would forever stay with me, a reminder that even in the darkest of places, there is always a glimmer of hope.